So anyway, so ito yung kulang natin, no? Itong kulang na line. And then before we add this, so what we're going to do is we add the models, we add this, and we have to add the models also para mawala yung red squiggly. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay? Okay. Let me view my package management manager console. Say add migration. I-delete ko na yung dating migration manually, no? The name of this is 002 employee. Spelling. Anyway, it's not a question because it will just add it here anyway. Pag build niya. And nandito lang naman, it doesn't matter the wrong spelling. And then we say update database. Remember, no, every time we create a model, we also update the DB context, no? Okay? Now, what's that? Nag-error siya dito, no? Create table identity. Let's look at our employee class. Int identity 11. Saan ang error? Null. Kasi middle name is null. First name is not null. You can see the nag-error siya, no? So not null. So anyway, let's look at our declaration. Okay, dito siya nag-error sa not null. Okay. Can we remove this first? No? This is a key, so it should be there. We just remove migration. Add migration again. Two. If not, we have to manually remove the previous migrations. Okay? Yung wrong spelling. Okay. We remove migration. Tanggalin muna natin yung mga hanggang matanggal, no? Okay, so we went back to our old migration. Okay. So anyway, let's just remove the unnecessary things first. May error itong ating required. Okay. First one. Okay. There must be some error in our add migration. I have to remove migration twice. Employee. Okay. And you will get the migration anyway. This is the migration. So it will create a table with int. It's nullable. Nullable is false, no? Identity. And then the last name is varchar 30, nullable. Okay. And then we'll try to update database. A very simple migration, no? Okay. May error sa kanyang create. I don't know why because maybe of the decorations we've added. Null. May error siya dito. executing create table employee near null. Okay, we have to remove the migration. Maybe we have to rebuild our project, no? Then just make this simple, no? Anyway, we can add them later. Simplify the whole thing. We add the fields one by one. Okay, and we add, for example, max length was 30. We'll say prop tab string of last name. Okay, save this. Let's look at my DB context. Nandyan, no? Wala siyang error. And then let's go to our package manager console. Say add migration. Why build fail? Sa build fail, you have to rebuild identifier expected. Where's that? Max length ko dito is wrong. Max length decorator. Ito, no? Okay, we'll just copy this. We don't have to copy. Hirap copy. Okay, we follow. Let's build this again. If there's a build error, you have to build and locate the error. We don't have an error. So now we can open our package manager console. Do we have a migration? No, we don't have a migration. You will know that here. No. Say add migration. Simple employee. Okay. Then we update database. I don't think that there's a problem with the case. Okay. Let's look at our table. Refresh. Nandito na yung employees. Do you follow? No? Maybe we can change our column column name, column type. Okay. Because the employee, if you look at that, no? Embarker. Okay. Uh, what you will usually do is to remove the employee first. No? Remove muna natin ito. Okay. And then you say add migration. Kasi hindi siya mag-work. Okay? So obviously, it will remove the, ano, it will remove the column. Okay? So, bakit hindi pa nawala, no? Hindi pa tayo nag-update database. Okay. Refresh this. And then so nawala na yung ano, no? Nawala na yung last name. Let's do that again, no? In our ano, let's append the employee again, no? Let's find out where the error is. Okay? Ito ang error, no? Dito tayo nagka-error, no? Do you follow? Okay? And then we can have the required message. Yes. Yeah, sa syntax. Please type. Mali ang ano natin kanina, no? Kapag copy and paste, a last name. An employee last name. Okay? Okay, follow? So, mali yung quotes. Okay? Add migration. Failed. We rebuild. There's an expected error. So, ito. Kulang ng isang close. Okay? We build again. So, we don't have an error anymore. So, this is how the way to do. This is the way to do it. Okay? Talagang ganito, no? So, you say add migration 003 employee. Okay. So, meron na. Okay, and then we'll say update database. Okay. So right away, the migration will be marked, no? Sino ang bahala mag-mark ng migration? Let's look at our database. Design. Meron ng last name barcode. We can now add the others, no? We can now start adding the others. Okay. We add the first name. We're getting into the exciting part, no? Sige lang. Talagang nahihirapan tayo dito. But we're not yet, we're still creating the database, no? Middle name. Will not make this required. Okay. We'll build first before we migrate. So, ilan na tayong migrations? 003. So, 004 na tayo. Okay. Okay. We add migration. 0004. Employee. Okay? And then we update the database. So may konting error lang tayo kanina, no? Talagang ganito ang ano, no? Every syntax error you make, you suffer. But anyway, ang kulang natin kanina dito is using like this. And then we made a very simple mistake in type name. Ito kanina, ito, no? Mali yung pagkaset ng close quotes. Okay? It's because I copied and pasted from an erroneous source. Okay. Anyway, let's look at our employee table. So we now have first name, last name, and middle name. Take note that middle name allows null, and all of them are workers. Okay. Now the next thing to do is to make a CRUDs. No. Okay. Let's make a controller. Okay. Let's make a controller for our CRUDs, for our employees CRUDs. Okay. Do you follow? To do that, we go to controllers, we right click, and then we click add. Okay, we click controller. You follow? Now it's a good thing here that you create everything. No, so the obvious choice is controller with views using entity framework, which means we already have an entity which is employee, and we are going to create. No, we are going to create a CRUDs, no, including a controller and a view. We have a model now. What we need to create is the controller and the view. No? So we have MVC controller with views using entity framework, and then we click add. Now, what is the model of the class? Okay, we are going to use the employee model. This one, no? Okay. What is the data context? There's only one, the DB context, no? We generate the views, no? Use the layout. Now we identify the layout page. Remember that the partial layout is in, okay, is in shared folder. This is layout.cshtml, so that it will become part of the main page. Okay. They follow. The name of the controller is employees controller. Let's add this now. Okay. So what happens is we already have an employee controller. Let's look at that controller. So it has the methods index, no, details, and employee. Let's run the index first. No? We can run it anyway. No? How do we do that? No? Kasi dito we'll have slash employees, employee slash index. Employees ba o employee? Yes, sir. Employee controller. Oh, employees as index. Meron na siya. The next thing to do is to put it here. Okay? Do you follow? Okay? So, pwede na tayong mag-create ng new employee. So, let's say we create a new employee, such as De La Cruz. We don't put a first name. We just put a middle name. Okay, right? So, it will put the error, it will display the error that we have declared in our model. No? No? Then we create. Now, we now have one employee. You can edit this. No? You can edit the employee. Okay, save. Take note, no? So, meron tayong details and meron din tayong delete. Everything is there, no? Let's look at the views that are created, no? Where are the views? Now, in the controller, you have the details, you have index, you have create, no? You have two creates, no? One for the get. HTTP get. Before, when in a controller, you will have an action for the get and action for the post. What is get and post? Get is when a request is issued, when we type, when a request is issued by the browser. For example, in our case, when we type in our browser, we say slash employee employees index. We are issuing a get request. No? Do you follow? So the get request will reply. The, the get reply in the controller will be activated. So this is the, okay, the get. No? You know that this is a get because there's no decoration such as HTTP post. By default, if there's no decoration, it's a get. No? So it will just return a view, await employee. It will return a view by returning the employee from the database context. Okay? Do you follow? Let's close this first. Which index is being changed here, is being called here? It's the if you look at the views, no? Meron ka ring employees views. You now have index.html. Okay? We can rename this to list. Kasi index is common eh. No? List employees. Okay? If you're going to rename that in your controller, you also have to change the method. No? We'll say have to call this list employees. Do you follow? No? So the name of the function is the name of the HTML file. Okay? The name of the function is the name of the HTML file in the controller. The controller, remember, so wala na tayong index, no? But now we say list employees. Okay, so list employees na. Do you follow? Okay? Okay. Now what I'd like to do is to put this in our menu. Okay? And we'd like this to be logged in. Okay? Ilalagay natin sa ating menu. Let's put a drop-down menu, no? I've copied this from our ASP.NET project. No? Where do we put the menu? It's in the shared no? In the layout.chtm. Nandito, no? Nandito yung ASP action, nav item, index, privacy. And then in the login, if you want it logged in, do you follow? If you want it logged in, we can put it in the login partial, dito sa login partial, so that only login people are able to access this. Okay? So for example, so meron dito yung naka-sign in is signed in user. If the user is not signed in, we put it here. We follow? No? Maglagay tayo dito ng menu. I'm sorry, the drop down menu first. Lagay tayo ng drop down. Okay? Okay? Admin. Okay? Okay. Just remove this. Wala naman tong kasali, hindi na ito kasali sila. Okay? But we, in our layout.html, we'll copy a page. Ito na lang. Pahin natin na. Mas maganda yung merong, okay, we can copy this na. But we'll change this later. No? ASP area, we'll just leave this blank. And the ASP page is, we have employees, list employees. Okay. What's the title? Just say list employees. Okay, let's run this. Let's build. Dito yung error. Kasi kinopya lang natin ito eh. No? Dito yung error niya. Kasi we have copied this. Manage. Okay, kulang tayo ng menu. Ng title. Okay? Kulang ng tag. Okay? We'll have an end tag. Then we'll say list employees. Okay? Let's run this. Okay. So, if you log in, admin. So, nandito na siya, no? List employees. Bakit hindi siya nag-ano, no? So, mali yung atin. We will change the, ano. The good thing is we will use the a different property. Let's look at let's stop this first. And then let's look at the uh, layout HTML. Instead na ganito, ito yung gamitin natin na. Okay. ASP controller. Because our controller is employees. Okay. And our ASP action is list employees. Do you follow? Okay, so ito yung kukopyahin natin. We'll put this in our login portion. Just remove this. Don't worry, no? Hindi siya magpunta eh. Okay? So the ASP controller is employees. We remove the, no? The ASP action is list employees. How do we get the name? The name of the ASP controller is employees. Employees controller, we remove the name controller. Do you follow? And then the ASP action list employees is that function in the employees controller. Ito, list employees. Okay? We save this. Let's build it. Check if we have an error. I hope you don't. Let's run this. Wala tayong error. Bakit si privacy ang nalagay? Sorry. Kasi yung nilagay natin is privacy, but we'll say list employees. Maglalagay pala tayo ng search dito, no? So, later. What I want to do is to ayan. We now have that, no? But the problem with this is if we log out and then we type the URL, no? And then go to list employees. Okay? So, nandyan pa rin. What do we do? What do we do? We put a decoration in our controller. Dito sa employees controller, list employees, lagyan natin ng authorize. Okay? List employees by yes. And then just we bring in the uh, necessary. Okay? We say authorize, no? Later we'll put in roles, no? Okay? So what will happen when we say employees, list employees? It will be brought to the login page. Okay? And then when you type admin and type your password, only then you will be sent right away to the list employees file. Do you follow? Do you get my point? So the decoration used, no, to limit is authorized. Okay? Do you follow? Now, what will happen if you say, if you do this? Let's run this. No? How about the edit, display, and okay? Ito, for example, edit. This is edit 1. Okay? We'll copy this, no? And then we log out. And then we'll just put it there. So, ganun pa rin. So, what will we do? We authorize everything. Okay? We authorize everything. All the get part. No? All the get we authorize. Copy. Details. Ang get lang, no? Ang post, hindi. We put authorize here. The create, we also put authorize. Kasi hindi naman mako-call yung ano. This is the post. So, we don't have to put ano. This is the edit. We authorize this. This is the edit, the post part, no? So the post part is the one that is activated when you click the submit button. The delete, we have to authorize this. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is to limit the access by authorization such that the ordinary users, okay, could list the details but cannot edit and delete. Shall we say if I log in as admin, we'll take a break, no? They follow. We'll have one more session. Okay, and then I'll show you now how to limit the authorization. Okay, so this is a very important part, no? How to limit the authorization. What I'd like to do is when you log in as administrator, you should be allowed to do a list and pwede ka mag-edit and delete like this. But when you're logged in as a user, for example, ordinary user, okay, you should not be allowed to, you should be allowed to list, no? Pwede mo ma-list, pwede mo ma-details, okay? But, hindi ka pwede mag-delete at saka mag-edit. Do you follow? Everyone, no? Will do that, no? As soon as we go back, no? That's a very important part, okay? Okay? So everyone, I'll be back, no? Shortly. We'll just record this.